Hello guys and welcome back to WebDev Mobile Dev. In this first tutorial on our focus on HTML and CSS for beginners, we are going to clearly explain what HTML, HTML5, CSS and CSS3 is all about so that you have a clear picture on what the next videos in this tutorial series are going to be covering. So what is HTML and HTML5? There's a lot of confusion in the community, especially between new developers, on whether they should learn HTML or HTML5. Well, I've got that covered in this video. HTML is just an acronym for Hypertext Markup Language, and it is a language used in structuring our web pages. HTML5 is the latest version of HTML, has additional features which make a richer web experience. HTML has transitioned from HTML 1.0, HTML 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, and we are currently at the latest version, which is HTML5. HTML5, being the latest version of HTML, is backward compatible, meaning almost all the features which were supported from HTML 1.0 through to HTML 4.0 are still supported in HTML5. But being the latest version of HTML5, it comes with additional features which we are going to be seeing next slides. So what's new in HTML5? The new features in HTML5 can be divided into four main categories. HTML5 comes with new tags which were not present in its predecessors. The SVG tag, figure, fig caption, address, and all these tags are new tags in HTML5. New semantic tags were also brought in HTML5. Article, nav, header, footer, section, aside, and main. All these tags give us a clear insight on what the structure of a web page is all about. HTML5 gives us a better experience when working with audio, video accessibility, and better animation and forms are also brought in HTML5. The feature present in HTML5, which was completely absent in its predecessors, is integration with JavaScript APIs. HTML5 integrates very well with additional JavaScript APIs, such as the Canvas API, geolocation, drag and drop API. All these new features in HTML5, new tags, new semantic tags, better experience, and JavaScript APIs are going to be covered in this tutorial series on HTML and CSS for beginners. We are going to go through all the features from HTML 1.0 to HTML 4.0, which are still currently supported in the latest version of HTML, which is HTML5. In addition to that, we are going to cover all these new features in HTML5 so that by the end of this tutorial, we are good and fully grown developers. CSS and CSS3. There is some confusion in the community among newer developers on what CSS and CSS3 is all about. CSS is just an acronym for cascading style sheets and is used for styling our web pages. CSS3 is the latest version of CSS. CSS as well has transitioned from CSS1 to CSS2 to CSS 2.1, and we are currently at the latest version of CSS, which is CSS3, which has the newest features which we are going to be talking about. So what's new in CSS3? CSS3 comes in with new features which are worth knowing as a developer, since as it facilitates our work as developers and provides us with a richer web experience. New properties such as opacity, border radius, box shadow. All these properties are commonly used by nowadays developers. New layouts, flexbox and grid for specifying responsive websites were brought in CSS3. Additional ways of specifying colors were also brought in CSS3. Animations and transformations, which are indispensable in nowadays websites, were brought in CSS3. Web forms permitting us to use different fonts on our web pages and media queries for specifying responsive websites we brought in CSS3. So in this full tutorial course on HTML and CSS for beginners, we are going to teach all the concepts worth knowing as a developer. So we will learn all the concepts from the previous versions which are still supported in the latest version, and as well all the new features added in HTML5 and CSS3, so that by the end of this course we are full HTML and CSS developers. So in our next tutorial in this series, we are going to start getting our hands dirty. We will configure our development environment and we'll start learning the first concepts to become a full HTML and CSS developer. So stay tuned.